Now let's learn how to replace the extended track of the vertical rail. First, remove the guide rod on the vertical rail and remove the 2 bolts on the angle iron. Next, remove the left and right bolts supporting the top of the inclined bar. After removing the top bolt, remove the bottom bolt in turn. Then remove the semicircular adjustment pieces on both sides of the vertical rail. Loosen the belt clip bolts on the back of the base plate of the printer truck. The bolts do not need to be completely removed, which is convenient for installing and replacing the vertical rail belt at the back. Then loosen the fixing bolts on the onward connectors on both sides of the vertical rail. It should be noted here that the onward connectors without color marks on the left and right sides can be slid under the patchwork and temporarily fixed, which is convenient for the replacement and installation of the extended vertical rail. The onward connector with color marks on the inside of both sides only needs to loosen the 2 bolts on it. Likewise, the hinges on both sides only need to remove the top 2 bolts. Finally, take out the shorter guide rail above the vertical rail. Here is the original vertical rail belt to be removed. Remove the pulley bracket assembly at the top of the vertical rail and only need to loosen about half of the left and right bolts. Remove the left and right bolts at the top. Remove the accessories and bolts must be put away, do not fall. Then find the 2 1.5 meter vertical rail profiles and assemble the extension rods with the same color logo at the same end and side. Here, you need to fix the hinges on both sides. When fixing the hinge bolts, do not use too much force to avoid damage to the threaded opening on the rail. Then the onward connectors are fixed in sequence, and the fixing bolts also need to be fixed from the middle to both sides. Adjust whether the joint of the vertical rail is flat and close to smooth by sliding and touching by hand, and then lock the connecting bolt. Spring nuts need to be embedded in the chutes above the hinges on both sides to facilitate the installation and fixing of semicircular adjustment parts. After the semicircular adjustment piece is installed in a good position, it is necessary to install the removed to support inclined rods back and fix the bolts. Now, we need to find the aluminum piece inside the accessory. Remove bolts and spring nuts on aluminum parts. Spring nuts are loaded in the middle of the 1.5 meter long vertical rail chute on the same side above the semicircular adjustment piece. Install the aluminum and bolt the lock. Both sides of the aluminum parts should be kept smooth with the side of the vertical rail. Find the 6.2 meter vertical rail belt and pay attention to the observation of the vertical rail belt to surface with woven material. After unfolding the belt, pass the belt half through the bracket wheel. The vertical rail belt bracket is put into the chute from the top of the extension rod, and all the reinforcing aluminum parts on the vertical rail are on the same side. When locking bolts, it is also necessary to keep the aluminum side and the vertical rail side smooth. Just lock the top 2 bolts. According to the video, pass the vertical rail belt through the pulley at the bottom of the vertical rail along the middle of the inner side of the vertical rail. After the two ends of the belt are roughly positioned in the middle of the belt clip, cut off the excess belt. Both ends of the belt can be evenly fixed in the middle of the belt clip. After fixing the position, lock the 6 bolts in turn. The chute between the two aluminum parts at the top of the vertical rail needs to be loaded with a spring nut for easy installation of the guide rod. The two angle irons on the guide rod are fixed on the vertical rail and locked. Finally, let's learn about the tension adjustment of the vertical rail belt. The tension of the vertical rail belt needs to be evenly adjusted by the two bolts at the top to ensure that the belt runs vertically. Pinch with your fingers to see if the belt is tight. Loose belt can easily cause slippage.